Hi, tappers. I don't think my microphone is working. So I went live a few minutes early because I have my new computer, all this new software, and I'm not familiar with any of it yet. So if you could let me know if you can hear me. Let me see. It says my camera is on. I just see a red light up by it, and I know the microphone is with the camera as well. Oh, you can. Yay! Okay, I was so worried. Oh, that's such a relief. Woo! Okay. Okay, it's been very overwhelming to have to learn like all new things, even like, how do I open the internet on, it makes me feel incapable when I am very used to a different operating system. And then the one I go to is completely foreign and none of it, like the intuitiveness doesn't cross over. So thank you for letting me know. Let's move on. Welcome to Tapping Tuesday. My name is Fable, and for the next hour, what we're going to do together is EFT, which stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, also known as tapping. So if you've seen this, that's what we're about to do. I'll give you a quick rundown of how it works, and then we'll jump right into it. So what we do here on this channel is called clinical EFT, and there is a difference. So EFT is a set of techniques that are really great at addressing overwhelm and trauma. It allows a pathway of connection between the conscious and the subconscious brain. Now, I could dive into what that means for hours, but that's not what we're here for. So if you're curious to understand more about what that means, or the clinical studies and the papers that have been published for explaining all of what EFT does, you can go to our channel here on YouTube. It is EFT Universe. Now, clinical EFT is based off of the 48 techniques that have been clinically tested and proven to be very effective. EFT in and of itself is a pretty basic, pretty simple application. The artistry in it comes from the nuance. So being able to understand what trauma responses are happening when someone is becoming oversaturated in their experience, it's really important to always come from a place of empowerment. And there are a lot of EFT trainings and videos out there that are wonderful and they have good meaning behind them, but they're just not complete in teaching all of these different aspects that are really important for the tools to be as effective as you see all of the studies and the statistics on. So if you want to learn more about that, I also have a link that I put in the description of this live. And it's a free class and it gets you set up with honestly my most favorite techniques. They're called the gentle techniques. And then a few others that are just more user-friendly for someone when you're doing it for yourself or for family. So go check that out if you don't already know all of the techniques. As far as today goes, it's really important to experience what EFT can do because learning the statistics is encouraging, but feeling it in your own body is going to give you that visceral understanding of, oh, something really just happened. And I am here to guide you. I am a certified clinical EFT practitioner. And I know some of you are as well. So whether you're here for the first time, which if you are, welcome, or if you're here as well-greased, obviously I'm losing words, already certified or knowing EFT for a long time yourself, welcome back. But doing this together, I hope will bring you some peace, some calm, and just a good practice of self-care. The way that we do it is there is a live chat. I do check it as we go throughout the session, and I incorporate as many suggestions as possible. And I'll show you how to adjust that if I start tapping on something as a group that doesn't really fit you as a person. Also, if you want to contribute something, it could be anything that you have on your mind. It could be something that you want that you don't have. It could be something that you have that you don't want anymore. It could be a pet peeve. It could be a persistent feeling that you don't want to carry. It doesn't have to be your biggest, worst thing. In fact, if you're not experienced in tapping, I would suggest that you start with something that is medium to small, just so you can feel that confidence and that win before addressing something, even if it's really big and it's really intense right now. Let your brain get that connection going first. If what you have is just too big, or if you have questions about EFT that I'm not going to answer during the live because I want to get us tapping, please email me. I am here for you. I want to be a resource for you, and I will protect you anonymously if it's something that you just feel too vulnerable putting out there on the entire internet. My email is at the top of the chat. I'll speak it out loud. It is Fable, FABLE, at EFTuniverse.com. Okay, now I'm going to say hi and we will get going. Hi, Mama Hutch. Yeah, last week I was in the middle of a technological meltdown. Like everything broke. So I wasn't here either. Thank you again for those who let me know that you can hear me. Hello, Anya and Paula. I love that you're so close. Hello, Dr. Scott. Yeah, thank you. Hello, Kristen. Ooh, Magnetic Island. That sounds really cool. Oh, thank you, Mama Hutch. Hello, Blast Scout. Hello, FM. Let's see, if able, you could please tell me why we only tap on the karate point and do not incorporate the other points. Yes, this question I will answer. So with EFT, you only need one acupoint, because what we're doing is we're sending a vibration. It's kind of like if you were tapping water, you would see that ripple, right? We have a vibration that happens within our nervous system as well. That vibration travels up to the brain, and that's what starts to give that signal that allows it to release the stressor. If you want to learn more, go do the seminar. But we only need one acupoint for that. Now, do the other acupoints help? Yes. Do they each have their own benefit? Yes. But if, say, maybe you only have one working arm, and you can only do this rather than this, it's still effective. Let's say you can't tap on your face because it's too overwhelming for you, so you stay here and here and here. Is it still going to work for you? Yes, it's still effective. The reason I stay on one point isn't because that's my preference per se, but doing something here where I'm guiding a group and there are people of varying skill levels, I want you to follow me as a backup. So if I'm tapping here and then I switch here and then I switch here, which I know is not the protocol, what I don't want is for you to be really breaking something beautiful down and, having this wonderful awareness in yourself, and then have that broken because you look at me and go, oh no, she's moved on. I got a next tap spot. So I stay very boring as I can. So then if you start to feel lost and wander, you can look at me to recenter yourself. But otherwise, I want you to feel empowered to tap through the spots as it feels good for you. Sometimes I'll still go through them, but generally I stay here or here for that reason. Hello, Maria. I'm really lucky due to the difference of the hour. Hello from Greece. I'm so glad that you're here. Hello, Joan. Okay, experiencing grief, attending my 3-year-old great-nephew's funeral. Oh, Joan, I'm so sorry. Okay, so tapping on grief and holding space, I'm guessing, because it's going to be a thing to get through, right? Whew. Dr. Scott, Greece could be stated well-versed, yes. Hello, Nancy. I do have a new name. Yes. Fable Legend is now my full new name. And we're all transitioning. We're all learning it. So it's totally fine. I don't get upset if someone forgets or doesn't know yet. But yeah, it's a change that I did at the end of the year that I've been thinking about for a long time. And it's been really fun. I'm really happy that I've done it. Mojica from Holland. Oh, I probably didn't say that right. MOJCA. Welcome, and I'm so sorry. If you want to phonetically spell your name, I will do my best. I'm very illiterate and not knowing of other languages, so I apologize. I'll read it and not do well. Um, okay, and addressing digestive issues, acid reflux, and the esophagus issues. Alamina from Ethiopia. Welcome. I'm glad to have you here. Hopefully I did okay with your name as well. Oh, you're so welcome for the explanation. Thank you for asking. And hello, Zahara and Shirley. Oh, it's your first time here. Welcome. So glad to have you. Okay. I did get one email from a community member, and basically what they were asking is confidence in the decision that they've made. They have had some very overwhelming news medically and having to choose what route to move forward in to, pardon me, to make the best life choice, essentially. And then now that they've made that choice, finding the confidence to stand by that choice, which I think is important to tap on. I don't know that we ever have before, so I really appreciate that suggestion. So we'll incorporate that in what we tap on. Okay, arthritis. Thank you, Nancy, for that suggestion. Thyroid and throat chakra in general. Oh, I see you're assisting each other. I love that. Thank you so much. I love when our community members chat with each other. It's important to share information and to feel connected. All right, let's go ahead and get grounded for a minute, and then we'll jump right in. I think we'll start on physical body. Yeah, and pre-surgery stress, yes. Okay, general overwhelm and anxiety. Just found out I need a lot of costly dental work. Okay, so I think having physical body and how to traverse those issues. But first, let's get grounded. Okay, let's just take a breath and let it out. And take another breath and let that out. And breathe normal. And as you're breathing, just notice. Just notice around you. Just look around. What are you sitting on or laying on or leaning against? Whatever way your body is supported. What's supporting you? What color is it? What texture is it? Is it warm or is it cold? Does it have a temperature difference that you notice for your body? Or have you been sitting there or laying there or standing there long enough that it's kind of equalized and you don't really notice the temperature difference anymore? And let's take another breath. And now notice what, if anything, is covering your feet. Do you have socks on? Do you have shoes on? Do you have slippers? Do you have nail polish? Is there something else that's covering any portion of your feet? And if so, what color is it? What texture? And if you don't have anything on your feet, then look at the color of your feet. Notice how your feet has a lot of different colors. Just the texture of your own skin. What is that like? And do you have multiple textures across the space of your foot? And let's take another breath. And now looking up from your feet, up your legs. Do you have pants, skirt? What material, if any, is covering your legs right now? Is it warm? Is it a thinner fabric? Does it have a pattern? Does it have a texture? Allow yourself to wonder what you might call the color of it. And if someone else would call it a different color, what might someone else call it if it were to be a different color to them? And if you don't have any covering on your legs, then again, looking at the texture, do you have hair on your legs? Do you not have hair? Do you have some spots with and without hair? Where are those places? Do you have a lot of hair? A little hair? Just wonder all of these details about your legs. And let's take another deep breath. Now let's look at our arms. Look at your hands, your arms, all the way from your shoulder down to your fingertips. And just notice, do you have any material covering any part of your arms? And if so, notice the color, notice the texture. Is it keeping you warm? Is it cooling you off? Is it cozy? Or is it cute but maybe uncomfortable? And noticing the texture of any skin that isn't covered. Noticing your fingernails, the way that maybe your skin moves if you open and close your hands. Just looking, just noticing your arms. Put your hands together. Are they different temperatures? How about front to back? Does that feel different? Is your palm a different temperature than the back of your hand? Okay, let's take another breath. Now let's take our hands, and you may or may not be in front of a mirror or a camera. It's okay if you are not. But if you are, you can look at yourself, or not. You can choose not to, even if you are in front of a mirror. Just take your hands and feel your face. Just notice. Feel your cheeks. How much of your cheeks do your fingers take up? If you were to touch your cheekbone, where do your fingers touch your chin? What about if you touch the tops of your ears? Can you put your thumbs on those and touch the top of your head? How much do your fingers overlap? Let's take a hand and put it on our forehead, and a hand at the base of the skull. And let's take a breath. And let your hands feet down and just droop and relax as you breathe out. And let's take one more breath here. And out. And now as we're sitting here, being very aware of our body, just check in one more time and notice if you would be more comfortable if you moved a little bit, if you shifted something. Maybe you tuck your legs under, or you unfold your legs, or you sit or lie in a different position. Maybe you shift your weight, maybe you stretch, maybe you curl up. Get a drink of water or warm tea. Go to the bathroom if you need to. It's okay. You won't miss much if you go now. And just allow yourself to give yourself that. If you need to adjust, just to feel a little bit better. Let's take one more breath. Okay. And so jumping into tapping. I'm gonna be making up words all day today. Let's go into considering medical issues and how to approach them. So whether you have a decision to make, whether you've already made a decision and you're wondering, how am I going to make this happen? Whether it's a lack of money or you don't have a doctor currently, maybe you feel like you've got that part figured out, but now you have to do it. Like you have to show up and have the procedure done. And that in and of itself is really overwhelming. So considering health in your physical body and aspects to make it better. And if what you have isn't that specific, it would also be fitting to tap on, well, I'm not sleeping well, and I'd really like to sleep better. I'm not eating as many calories as I probably should be, or I'm eating the wrong kind of calories and I should be eating more nutrient-dense foods. Those will fit within this tap as well. So considering physical body and how to bridge from where we currently are to where better is. Okay, so let's go ahead and start tapping. As I consider my physical body and any and all issues that currently exist in my physical body, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now I have issues in my physical body and they are not yet resolved, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though right now, when I think about my physical issues, I feel a lot of feelings and I would like to feel different, but I don't yet. I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. My physical body. This body. My physical body issues. Solutions. Solutions for my problems. Solutions for the best outcome. I wonder, why is it so important to me to have the best outcome? Well, that's a ridiculous question. Of course, I want the best outcome. Why would I even ask that? Even if asking this question seems silly, I hold space to have this conversation. Okay? Why do I want the best outcome for my physical body? Is it because I'm scared? I'm afraid of what I might have to endure if I don't have the solution I hope for. Maybe I feel an obligation to other people and myself, my family, my workplace, my community. I really need my body to work. Maybe I feel some grief. My body can't give up now. I was really hoping to achieve more, to experience more, to make changes that I just haven't gotten around to yet. I really meant to, but I haven't. And I want another chance. As I consider these and other reasons of why I am hoping for my best outcome, I deeply and completely accept myself. I wonder, who could help me with that? Who could possibly assist me with what I need? Maybe a doctor of some kind. That makes sense for my physical body. Maybe other knowledge of food or exercise or some type of meditative rest or engagement. I wonder, how could I best determine who could help me the most? Maybe I need to first identify what are the biggest problems. What are the biggest aspects within this problem that I am facing? Am I in physical danger? Like I need someone to physically help me address this, or it's just going to get worse and worse. If that's my answer, great. Then now I know I need to seek out the appropriate medical attention. Is this concern swallowing up my life? I can't think about anything else. Every decision I make, this is a part of it. I can't sleep because I'm just running different scenarios, maybe spiraling downwards into negativity because I'm so worried about what's going to happen. If that's the case, then maybe I need someone to help me with my emotions and with my thoughts. So maybe I can seek out a mental health practitioner or a dear friend, a trusted loved one who can offer me a place to let it out, a place to feel safe and comforted, and maybe some advice. I don't know, we'll see. And maybe someone who can help me balance, because this scenario may not offer me balance. What can I do if where I am finding myself only offers me hard things to think about and scary things to consider and painful things to feel? How do I find a place of balance? Well, if I consider balance to be an outcome, then my only answer is I must get through it. I have to find a solution, or I never will get balance again, because balance only exists as the outcome, meaning at the end. Ooh, that's intense. That's a lot. I sure would like to have balance, but I got to get through all of this first. Maybe there's another way, a different way to consider balance. What if, instead of balance being only an outcome, it's okay to have it as an outcome. Love balance as an outcome. But what if it also is a skill? What if balance is something that I have to learn to keep, that I have to learn to apply? That doesn't make any sense. How can you apply balance? How can you apply a skill like this? That's, not sure about that. Even if I'm feeling this or something close to this about this new concept of balance, I choose to hold space and be curious. I may or may not be sure that it's going to work, but I wonder, what would that look like? If I were to apply balance as a skill, what could that look like? Well, how does one apply any skill? I guess first you identify what it is you want to learn. Say, I want to learn how to cook pasta. All right. Then there are certain things that I need to succeed to learn that skill. That would be some sort of instructions. I would need some physical items like pasta, water, a pot, some heating source. Okay. So I would gather the tools that I would need. And then I would need time. I would have to do it. And maybe I would be really good at it. Maybe it would be pretty simple. Or maybe I would try it and it wouldn't be very good. Maybe all the noodles would stick together, or I wouldn't get it hot enough the first time, or I wouldn't leave it in long enough. So then they would have a weird texture. Or maybe it would be way too hot and all the water would boil out and I'd burn the noodles. Or I'd leave them in too long and they get really squidgy and weird. Does that mean I'm done with? No, I'd probably just try again. I'd learn from what I tried and do something different. So what if I applied these steps in the same way towards balance? What if I allowed myself something, just had space, had time, where I did something that brought me joy or something that calmed me down, even though my life may still feel really tumultuous and I don't have answers yet and things are really stressful. But I'm using this as a skill. It's not a reward, and withholding it is not a punishment. I am allowing myself time to feel better. Because isn't it true that if I allow myself just a little bit of time to feel better, it has a lot of physical benefits? And isn't that what I am trying to achieve? So maybe it makes the most sense that as I seek out my most beneficial solution, that I offer to myself this skill set of support. Okay, maybe it makes a little bit of sense. But how do I start? How do I try? Maybe I can ponder just some small things. And I'll know. I'll know because I'll feel better. And I can start with 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I can do it with another person. I can do it by myself. But however I choose to start to learn the skill of allowing myself balance as I continue to seek for my best outcome, I give myself permission to try as many times as I need. I can try and quit and try again. I can try and fail miserably and try again. I can try and not like it, so I try something else and I try again. And as I allow myself this option to assist in my best outcome for my physical body, I deeply and completely accept myself. just for a little bit longer. When we tap after we're done with the phrasing, it's just some integration time. We're allowing the brain to just assimilate everything that we just went through. Okay, and go ahead and pause tapping and take a breath. Now take a moment and feel how you feel right now. Notice how you felt at the beginning of that tap when you think about whatever it was that you tapped on, and think about it now and how it feels. Do you feel in your body a sense of calm? Do you feel tingly? Do you feel more relaxed? Do you feel more positive? Were you yawning, sighing, laughing? Did you feel any aha moments? All of those are signs that your subconscious brain heard what you were saying and thought, oh yeah, no, that's a great idea. Let's rearrange some things and make that our template moving forward. And it will continue moving forward with your new positive outlook. So good job. All right, let's jump right into, let's do an emotional tap. I'm just going to remind myself, and I know we've got a few new messages. I'm scrolling back up to the top and just see the suggestions that were given so I can incorporate as much as I can. I create all of my own hold music. Oh, Karen, perfect topic. Need two new replacements. Okay, I'm glad that worked out. Yay, and Sleepy, good job. Yay, awesome. Way to go. Okay, and hello, John. Glad to have you here. I'm going to just use the term overwhelm. Okay. So as you consider your emotional self, and I want you to picture this emotional self as kind of like an overlay on your body. So maybe you have emotions in your hands, in your chest, in your gut. Maybe you feel a tenseness in your shoulders, in your neck. Where do you know that you're feeling an emotion? How do you feel it? Where do you feel it in your body? So see yourself as an emotional suit right now, and just be curious about what's speaking up. And it may surprise you. It may not surprise you. You may feel multiple things, and it's okay whether you choose to focus on your whole body as one or in one specific spot in one specific emotion. Let's go ahead and tap while we talk. Just notice wherever it is that you're going to focus on. And go ahead and name the emotion as close as you can to an emotion that is commonly known, like anxiety, sadness, grief, anger, frustration. Those are good enough examples. And even if it's not quite right, acknowledge that and say, oh, that's not quite it, but it'll do for now. And you can certainly change it if a better word pops up. But go ahead and identify it as something. And then notice, as we're naming it now, where it lives in your body and how far that space reaches. So if you feel it, if you're thinking, oh, I feel it in my heart. Okay. And you can mean like physical heart or spiritual heart. Both are acceptable. But how far out does that go? Does it cover your entire rib cage? Does it go up into your throat? Does it go down into your gut? Where all does that reach? And then what does that feel like? Does it feel like a sticky tar? Does it feel like it's a tight rope just wrapped all around everything? Does it feel like a 1,000-pound lead weight that's just stuck in your body? What descriptive terms would you use? for how it feels with where it is. And if it had a color or colors, what color would it be? And it's okay if you don't immediately think of a color. You can choose one. And if you're like, nope, that's not right, you can change it again. But do think of a color, at least one color. And is it dark and shadowy, or is it like bright and glowing? And glowing in like a calming sense, or glowing in like a danger sense, like an emergency light. What we are doing now is a technique called chasing the pain. It is, I believe, one of the techniques that you learn in the free seminar. If it's not, let me know, and I'll show you where to learn more about it. And now these are the more weird sensory choices, but we're still going to go for it. If this emotion were to have a smell, what would it smell like? What does it smell like? Is it stinky? Is it acidic? Is it bland? Is it just kind of a wisp of a smell, or is it overpowering? If it were to have a smell, what would it smell like? And if it were to have a sound, what would it sound like? And it could be any sound. It sounds like a creaky door for some reason, or sounds like a roaring fire, or sounds like a screaming, sounds like a growl. Whatever comes to your mind, allow that to be correct. And if it were to have a taste, what would it taste like? Even if it's a really unpleasant thought, you don't have to think about it long. Just attach a flavor. And it could be, oh, it tastes like dirt. It tastes like something worse than dirt. It doesn't have to be something that you would actually put in your mouth, but you can just imagine, especially according to how it smells, or maybe it doesn't taste at all like how it smells. Again, whatever your brain focuses on, let that be correct. Okay, now let's go ahead and start our phrasing. As I focus in on this emotional overwhelm in my body, I deeply and completely accept myself. As I notice all of the attributes that exist connected to this overwhelm in my body, I still choose to deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have now identified so many aspects of this emotional overwhelm that I do not want in my body, and I don't want them here, I still choose right now to deeply and completely accept myself. I wonder, why is this here? Maybe I'm aware. Maybe I'm not sure. But whether or not I'm aware of why this is here right now, I wonder, can I let it go? Can I give it permission to go? Yes. No. I don't know. Whether or not right now I'm able to let this overwhelm go, I hold space to continue to be curious about why it's here and what I can do about it. I wonder if I can't let it go, why? Does it feel like a necessary expression for me right now? Maybe I feel I've I've earned this. I've been through something really big and terrible, terrifying, scary, or angering. And these feelings are valid. I'm supposed to be having these feelings right now. And if I let them go, then that's saying that what I'm feeling them about doesn't matter. Or that if I was wronged, the other person can get away with it now. Or that it's okay that they got away with it. Or that it's okay that it happened. I need to feel this feeling because it validates my experience. As I consider how much this feeling may or may not validate my experience, I deeply and completely accept myself. It is true that my feelings are very valid. And it is true that they validate my experiences. Of course, that's what emotions are for. But I wonder, is this one emotion validating all of my experience? Or just this one really painful part? Am I giving equal space to other validations? Maybe to the amount of love and joy that I have connected to other angles of the circumstance, or my strength, my power, my ability, how I survived, how I made it through, how I've made a difference. Where are those emotions? Am I allowing that validity to also be and breathe and live in my body? And it's okay to feel in my negative spaces. But I wonder, have I also decided that that's where I need to live? Have I also decided that that's my definition of all of it? Whether or not I have decided that this overwhelm is my definition of this experience, I deeply and completely accept myself. I accept how I feel about this. Even if the feelings are hard, even if the feelings are big, even if other people tell me, nope, you should be feeling different, I hold space for how I feel. It is my body. They are my emotions. It's my process. And it is okay for me to feel how I feel. And if I'm ready to let go of any part of it, even if it comes back, even if I have experiences where I allow it back or I welcome it back because I'm still processing it, maybe it's okay for me to let parts of it go and make space for just a little while. Making space. Creating a flow. Creating a flow for my emotions. Now, if you do feel like you can give some permission to let it go ahead and decide how that's going to release, whether it literally just flows out from you, if you breathe it out, if it floats away, and just notice and have a little animated visualization if you can in hearing that sound get quieter, noticing that smell getting less, feeling those sensations that you use to describe it, that heaviness, that sharpness, that intensity becoming less. Notice that the color is fading and continue to breathe. And go ahead and notice if all of it went away or if some of it remains. Notice if it's something that you're done with, you're able to just leave it, it can just continue to go. Or if it's something that you've created some distance from, but you're not done working through it yet. And you are going to continue to interact with it. I wonder, as I have identified all of these aspects in this way, for something that I eventually want to release, is there something that I could add in, that I can offer to myself to receive? As I consider what I might be able to receive to offer support to myself for this emotional overwhelm, I deeply and completely accept myself. I wonder, what do I want the most? What would feel the best? And go ahead and pick a word. And it could be a word describing an emotion, love, joy, happiness, peace. It could be something like rest, clear mind, focus, whatever it is that just feels like a relief when you think of the word. And as you consider that word, think about where you would apply that in your body. Where would you want that to live? And how big are the parameters of it? Would it reach across the same place as your overwhelm? Would it go further? Would it be in a different area altogether? And how would this feel for you? What texture does this support, does this nurture offer to you? Is it soft? Is it fuzzy? Is it silky? Is it flowy? What temperature is it? Is it more of a diffusion of light, or is it something that has more of a presence, something heavier? Is it like a bodysuit of armor? Is it like a soft, warm blanket wrapped around your shoulders? What does it feel like? And what color or colors does it have? And are the colors really saturated? Are they more of a diffusion? Are they translucent? And if this emotion had, let's see, where do we want to start? A flavor. What yummy flavor would this have? Is it a soothing flavor, a familiar flavor? Is it something from your childhood, from your adulthood? What wonderful flavor does this nurturing presence have for you? And if it had a smell, what would it smell like? What smell would it have that would just be so pleasant to breathe in so deeply? Is it a sweeter smell? Is it like one solid note, or does it have an array of smells? Something where you could sniff and keep discovering different aspects of it. And if it made a sound, what sound do you hear? Does it sound like a wind chime that's blowing in a breeze? Does it sound like ocean? Does it sound like a loved one's laugh? Does it sound like soothing music? What nurturing sound does this word have? And as you focus on these aspects, notice them in your body. Feel the texture in the space. Notice the effect the smell has. Is it calming? Is it invigorating? Does it allow you to smile? Does it allow you to relax tense muscles? Notice how you feel when you hear the sound. Does it make your heart swell? Does it make you giggle? Does it touch your heart and make you feel like, oh, someone cares? I hear that sound and I know someone cares. Let's go ahead and just take a breath right now. My body. These emotions in my body. All of my emotions in my body. The overwhelm in my body. The nurture in my body. I allow space for any and all emotions that I choose to be a part of my emotional body. It is okay to feel more than one thing at a time. I am a complex being. It makes sense that I would be capable of more than one thing. And I give myself permission to receive or release, to grow or shrink any emotion at any time. And as I allow myself this space in my body, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, and pause and take a breath. And take just a moment and notice how you're feeling. Do you feel more calm? Do you feel more grounded? When you think of that emotional overwhelm, does it feel more distant? Does it feel less intense? When you think of your positive emotion, does it feel present? Can you feel the sensations of it in your body? Were you sighing, crying, laughing, yawning? Do you feel tired? Were your thoughts kind of drifting off? All of those are signs that you reached confirmation with your subconscious brain that this is a good practice to use, and it will continue to build on that skill even as you go about your day and focus on other things. So very good job. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. We are at time. I am going to do just a really quick grounding close. I feel like that could have been maybe a bigger experience for some of you, and I don't want to leave you feeling undone. So if you can stay for that, great. If you can't, thank you so much for coming. I love you so much, and I hope I get to see you next week. For those of you who are staying, let's go ahead and start tapping. I'm actually going to tap here. This is going to be a very gentle tap, okay? And breathe. As I come to the end of this tapping session, I am reminded of how it began. I started by looking around my room. I wonder, does it look the same? Have any of the colors changed? If I have a window, has the light outside changed? Has there been a temperature difference? Notice the way your body is. Are you sitting differently than you were when you began? Whatever's supporting you, did you change seats? Is it still cold or warm or pretty evenly temperate with your body? Oh, we also looked at our physical bodies. Now let's look at our feet. And just wiggle your foot around a little bit. Just notice your feet. Notice the patterns, whether it's your skin or clothing. Just look at them. Keep tapping. And I'll look at your legs. Yep, those are my legs. Notice the fabric or your skin. And look at your arms. And you can look at them like this. You don't have to stop tapping. And notice, oh yeah, I looked at that pattern before. I remember thinking about that. And looking at your skin. And as I allow myself to focus outwardly once again and continue on with my day and with my week, I give myself permission to take any and all insights, good feelings, connections, and support that I have received in this session. And I allow that to continue to integrate into my life. And as I do this, I deeply and completely accept myself. Okay, pause on tapping and take a deep breath. Nicely done. And then if you need to, you can do a little bit of just tactile touching on your skin. You can give a little bit of a shake if that feels good. If you're still feeling a little bit trance-like, those things can be helpful. Thank you so much for being here. It's so meaningful to get to tap with you like this. Please always remember you can email me with any questions. I do post a video every Friday. Mostly those videos are created based off of the conversations that I have with you. So thank you again for how you are contributing to this community that we have. I love you. I'll be thinking about you all week, and I hope that I get to see you next Tuesday. If you're not able to come, don't worry. There's always a replay available. It's on our YouTube page, EFT Universe, under playlists. and you'll find all the lives there. All right, take care. Mwah.